Now here's Bryant to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession. When they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
A first down throw coming for Dalton. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Brian Poole. And he'll bring this one back to the 29.
Well, these two guys, Dalton and Green, they've hooked up on some big plays since coming in as rookies together back in 2011. But sometimes Andy can rely on them just a little bit too heavily. And this is a ball he probably shouldn't have thrown.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Dre Kirkpatrick, the cornerback, up to make the stop. Well, usually you don't think of the cornerback coming in for a no-gain play, but that's what we had there. Nice tackle.
Yeah, and how about the range, too? Coming from the outside part of the play, moving his way into the inside and making that play happen. No gain for the offense, big play for the defense.
Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Carlos Dunlap in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. Well, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Carlos Dunlap in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. On 4th down, here's Matt Bosher on the punt. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it to the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football. And that run there does nothing but juice up the guys who are moving the football. I mean, if you're an offensive lineman, people running it, actually the guy calling plays, you're almost jumping up and down in jubilation, aren't you?
And then you've got options on 2nd down.
And big-time options. You might want to think about play action and try and get something cheap right here over the top.
Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. The first carry for the second-year man, Joe Mixon. And he takes us across the 15 to the 17. Grady Jarrett with the tackle.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
To throw here, Dalton over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Macklin. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Bengals with a football to begin quarter number 2. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. And before this 4th and 3 play, we're going to get whistles and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Here's Ryan Quigley now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. With it is Jackson. That'll wind up being a 50-yard punt, though they do get 10 back on the return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field.
And this is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. Touchdown, Falcons. Julio Jones, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons are able to show off their quick strike ability. Bryant's extra point up and good. And it's now 14-0. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points. Get that 0 off the board. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again. Dalton. Green's got it over the middle. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Dalton to Green for a Cincinnati first.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
First and 10 for Dalton. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. Good coverage that time by the linebacker, Deion Jones.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Another look for Dalton on 2nd and 10. Looking left side, that's caught by Macklin. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
He's got his man here. It's Green. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Here's Bernard. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Ricardo Allen, the safety, makes the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Dalton. Green brings it in. Fighting his way through contact. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. And he's got the hook up to Macklin. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys.
And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. The 30, 20, 10, and he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick-6. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. And out now, here come the Bengals. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half, and you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest, we're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here, but he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit. Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. To throw is Ryan. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's brought down. A minute 57 to go in this first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. A first chance in the red zone for the Falcons now. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. They'll run it now out of the gun. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Making the play defensively, Carl Lawson.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
On 2nd down, Ryan. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. It's the fullback. His first touchdown on the year. And the Falcons will extend their lead. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and a rout is on here in this first half. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Cincinnati now ready to take the field.
Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. It's second down. Dalton looking. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Vic Beasley in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon. So the sack, and now it's 3rd and long for Dalton and the Bengals. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. Buying time to his left. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. They go play action here on first down. Airing one out for Mack. He's got it at the 15. And give him a gain of 37.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around to make a play on the football.
Dalton, 1st and 10. Flushed out right. And that is incomplete. Stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. Jeremy Maclin, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So they're still down, but they are able to salvage 3 here heading into the lockers.
This is what you work on from the beginning of training camp. Heading into the half, put some points on the board. No matter what the score says at that point, you've accomplished what you set out to do.
We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They run. Devontae Freeman. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. He lost 6 there on the first down play.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Geno Atkins forcing his way through there to drop him for a loss of a good 10 yards. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And instead, they want to throw it off play action. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. They've got his man complete. A big play there, Ryan to Jones. And even 40 yards. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? And sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. Some extra space following the display of power. Down just inside the 45. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, Freeman. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd. Now Ryan. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
The punter Bosher on now as he gets this one away. Now Brown. Well, not good at all. A punt of just 24 yards there. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out if that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. 2nd and 11. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Second down, Dalton. Caught, Eifert over the middle. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into...
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Well, Charles, he's thrown 5 picks in a game before, and right now, after that one, he's standing on number 4.
And right now, your defensive coordinator is asking the offense coordinator, can you do anything to slow this down? Because my guys have to keep running back out on the field, so play calling may come into it a little bit, maybe run the ball a little bit more, but a lot of it depends on the scoreboard. They may have to keep throwing it.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And a nice carry there of 15 yards. Freeman again. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd and very short.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Ito Smith, his first carry, and he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Only a gain of a yard there, but it indeed gets him a new set of downs.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the first down.
And now a 10th carry for Freeman. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Partner, I think there's a lesson there. Some days you're just having a really tough time, and for the defense, today has been that day. But after that play, what do you learn? You can still make plays even when the other guy's having success against you.
This is caught. It's Sanu this time for a Falcon touchdown. Mohamed Sanu, his second touchdown on the season. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. The Falcons on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is third down and 12. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. So a field goal try here on 4th down as the Falcons call on Matt Bryant. This a 33-yard attempt. And Bryant's kick is good. Back now in Atlanta. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11. Throwing on first down. Dalton, throw left side, complete to Ross. And he's brought down after a good gain. A nice gain at 21 yards.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Passing, it's Dalton. Going deep downfield for Ross. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. And this is caught. Jeremy Maclin. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And it'll be Dalton again. And Eifert has it. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. Dalton to his big target. Eifert for the Cincinnati first.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
Nice idea, nice concept there. Line him up on the left side of the formation, let him sneak his way across, coming back underneath, put it in his hands, let him get a few more yards after the catch, too.
Great way to utilize a tight end on the drag route. Here's a run with Mixon. Into a mass of bodies, and I think they held him out. They did. No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal.
They're right there at the 1. No gain, but don't let that stop you. Linebacker.
And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Bengals are able to cut into this lead. And he's got it up and through. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And here now come the Falcons. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away, turned into a nice play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, Ryan. The left side completion to Jones. Ryan to Jones, the Falcon connection there for a first.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Ryan now, 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. 1st and 10. Now it's Ryan. And some room to maneuver. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he takes this down deep into Cincinnati territory. A big play there, Ryan to Jones, 48 yards. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Time for a break. This one all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. Now the pitch to Freeman. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
After the penalty, here's Freeman. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one, maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
The Falcons on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 15. From the gun, it's Ryan. Hard throw, incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
And when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
A first down throw coming for Dalton. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. He'll get it to the 40. Broke a tackle there to get some extra yardage. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as he'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. And Dalton to throw. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. Ryan Poole that time there to get a hand on it. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
He's going to let it fly. Oh, man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. Oh, wait, hold everything. A timeout has been called. Seemingly silly with 1 second remaining in this game. It's do or die for Dalton. And this is caught. Jeremy Maclin. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. And, Charles, you know what coaches always tell us. We want to win our home games. That much we know. We want to protect our home turf. They got that done in this one.
Exactly right. When you start a season, everyone's goal, win all of your home games, split your road games, and you're likely going to be in the playoffs. But when you win at home, boy, what a great feeling that is. You don't even mind if people are at your house when you get home after a win like that.
So for Atlanta, it took a few weeks, but they finally get their first one of the season here in Week 4. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, they too will leave here at 1-3. And they will be at home next week to take on the Miami Dolphins. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Nothing on that beat.
Addicted to ball.